Pretty much every marriage begins like the making of a garden. Two paths converge and then merge into one, and what used to be separate, independent, individual endeavors becomes singular. One destiny awaits this unstoppable team who unite their hearts and minds to conquer the world. They marry, and they turn their attention together towards the creation of one future. Together, they envision what it will look like. They prepare for it. They till the ground and amend the soil and plant. And the planting is a means to an end. But what they both expect is that this new and delicate union will grow and blossom into a harvest of life, filled with the yield that comes some time after the planting. That's the point of a garden, to reap the benefit later from the work that is sown today. Its harvest is not only in the sustenance, but also in the satisfaction of knowing that we did it. So the newlyweds, they water and they fertilize and playfully enjoy the honeymoon days of early marriage. Smiling is the perpetual facial expression, and every possible moment is spent together, happy, in love, focused on their undivided union and the life that they are creating. They share a common purpose and have a deep sense of belonging together. That's how marriage begins. That's how marriage begins, almost universally. I mean, I've officiated hundreds of weddings. I've met with lots and lots of couples as they approach their special day, the giddy excitement of this momentous occasion when the two will become one. And nearly all of them start this way, unified and focused, planting the garden together. And then, sometime after the wedding, they leave the garden unattended, distracted by 1,000 noble things, all pulling at their energy and their time, chipping away at that singular focus. Sometime after the honeymoon, we necessarily allocate time to career building and kids, household management and kids, me time and kids. And before long, between the boss and the job and the yard and the clothes and the parents and the friends and our kids, between all of that, we're supposed to find time for us. But after the honeymoon of the first year of marriage, us is a lot like that garden. No longer the pristine, cultivated, fertile ground we conquered together. So often, the garden just gets neglected, attention stolen and reallocated to the competing voices. We kept saying, we've got to put some energy into this, but those other things needed our attention, and so we gave it. But it doesn't have to be that way. Wherever you are, you can make a turn right now, today. And we can allocate the energy that is needed for our marriages to be great. We have within us the power to make the adjustments to give our marriage the time that it deserves. I was listening last week to Pastor Angie's message. I was paying attention. I hope you did that too. And she told us that more than half of U.S. adults are now not married. And that's okay. It's more than okay. So to my single friends, let me encourage you to stay with me. Instead of looking away, you really ought to lean in, because while the data does show that more people are single and single for longer, it also still shows that most single people eventually do get married. Tanner Iglio is on our staff here. He's been a part of our church since he was 11 years old. And he's 27 today, and he's married. But he told me a couple of years ago that as a teenager and then as a young adult, whenever I taught on marriage, he would pay extra attention to those messages. I was curious about this. I'd never heard anybody say that to me. He said he knew I was going to give him tools that he would one day need. So he didn't disregard messages on marriage as if they weren't relevant to his current life situation. Instead, he knew he was going to need it, so he got all that he could out of it. And if I could be so bold, you should too. Because marriage is still an important part of our society, and married or not, we're all going to need these tools that I'm going to teach about today and next week. The one I'm talking about today has broad and incredibly powerful implications for all of our relationships, not just our marriages, but especially our marriages. And it's the thing that nobody talks about. In fact, it's the thing we actually only discuss in whispers so no one can hear, because we don't want anybody to know, because it's a secret. Secrets. Secrets are, in my experience, the most effective relationship destroyer, and they are especially nuclear in a marriage. So first, let me acknowledge that not all secrets are bad. When the Allies were about to invade Nazi-held Normandy, the operation had to be kept a secret. We do this in the name of protecting the nation. And there are corporate secrets, right? Chick-fil-A has a secret formula for their perfect holy chicken sandwich. And Coca-Cola has a very protected secret formula that I got to see from a distance and a lot of security guards in the vault behind the wall in front of me. Google has a secret algorithm. We create secrets in the name of protecting intellectual property, and that's okay. But it's in this spirit of protection, this idea of protecting ourselves or someone else, that we then develop a personal or a family secret. But really, other than keeping a surprise party or a gift under wraps, secrets in a family and secrets in a marriage are almost always hurtful. We think that, we tell ourselves that revealing the truth will hurt people, but the greater pain isn't in the content of the secret. It's just in the fact that we have one. The power of the secret isn't in the content of the secret itself, however bad you think it is. The power's in the fact that there is a secret. Secrets hurt those who know the secret, and they hurt those who don't. And make no mistake about it, almost every family has a secret or two. And so don't check out right now trying to figure out what your family secret is. You can do that after church. If you let your mind stray right now from the conversation that we're having, you might very well discover what your family secret is, but then you won't have the tools to deal with it, so stay with me. The Bible has many examples of secrets that were created because somebody didn't want somebody else to know something. But secrets are really something that have been hurting families and hurting marriages since the very first one. So let's take a look there, going all the way back to Adam and Eve. A man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. Adam and his wife were both naked, and they felt no shame. The Hebrew word, this part of the Bible is written in Hebrew. The Hebrew word for shame means to feel worthless. So here's Adam and Eve, newly married. The two became one. And the very first descriptor of their marriage is that they were naked and unashamed. And this is both a literal picture, which we don't really need, but it also indicates something more profound than sexuality. In their nakedness, they were transparent and intimate and genuine and authentic. So if the Hebrew word for shame means to feel worthless, then the lack or absence of shame would mean that they felt valued or valuable. There was nothing hidden between them. Both literally and figuratively, they were naked. It makes me think about one of the legends in my own family. My brother Jeremy, who's 3.5 years younger than me, when he was a little kid, when he was 2 or 3 years old, his favorite thing to do was to strip down all the way to the flesh and run around outside buck naked. He especially loved it when there was a crowd around and he was very fast, so you couldn't catch him. He would judge how far away he had to step so that nobody could stop him. Then he would call attention to himself, and he would strip naked like an exotic dancer, and then he would run around, and every adult tried to catch him. He would run until everybody needed oxygen. I mean, he just loved to run around naked. My brother was naked and felt no shame. Adam and Eve were naked and felt no shame. Again, there was nothing hidden. Their marriage was one of vulnerability based on complete honesty and value because there was no shame. Enter the secret. The serpent, the devil, the creator of lies, the author of deceit, the manufacturer of secrets, ultimately, he slithers his way to Eve and he asks her a provocative question. He said to the woman, "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" From the outset, the serpent tries to manipulate the truth because God didn't say that, and he knew that God didn't say that. He knew that God had told Eve that she could eat from any tree except just one. But instead, he asks a twisted question. Didn't God tell you you couldn't eat from any tree? He says. Well, the woman says to the serpent, well, we may eat from fruit from the trees in the garden, but God did say you must not eat from the tree, the one tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it or you will die. So far, so good. 1 point for Eve, that she stiff arms the manipulation. She tells the truth. She knew what God had told her. She remembered it correctly. She recited it perfectly. But this is not a conversation. It's a setup. You will not certainly die, the serpent said to the woman. For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. And so the serpent says to Eve, basically, the translation of this is, God lied to you. God lied to you. God has a secret. God knows something he didn't tell you, and he doesn't want you to know it. That tree that God told you not to eat from, it's not going to hurt you. In fact, it will help you. And God knows that it will help you. He kept the truth away from you. That's the secret. And she fell for it. She ate from the forbidden tree. And then Adam had some too. And then the eyes of both of them were opened. And they realized that they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves, and they hid from the Lord. But the Lord God called to the man, "Where are you?" And he answered, I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid. I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid. How? How did Adam and Eve go from naked and unashamed to naked and afraid, which, for the record, was a biblical reality long before it was reality TV? Now, how did they go from intimacy with God to fear of God? How did they go from living with transparency to living in hiding? I'll tell you how. They had a secret. It was a secret they didn't want to talk about. It was a secret they didn't want anybody to know. In fact, Adam and Eve, our most ancient grandparents, they would be horrified to know that everyone would still be talking about their secret for the next 10,000 years. But the essence of a secret, it hasn't changed at all with time. A secret is still designed to divide. A secret will still destroy intimacy. A secret will keep our marriages from reaching their full divine potential with all of the blessings that God has in mind. So we need to do an autopsy on secrets, understand them, and then know what to do with them. First, secrets begin with sin, or at least the perception of sin. Most of the time, they begin with actual sin. So if you live long enough, you will experience something sinful. Either something you did or something someone else did to you. The bad news, in case you don't realize it, this could be a very bad day for you. The bad news is that you have sinned. The good news is you're in good company because everybody else has too. All of us, every one of us, without exception, we've all done something wrong, and none of us is proud of the wrong that we did. I mean, by definition, if you know what you did was wrong, you have a sense of shame about it. You're ashamed of it. That's what sin does, right? Sin leads to a sense of shame. And I want to define shame because we have different ways of thinking about it. I would call shame embarrassment and regret about a poor or hurtful decision or action. So I'm defining it as embarrassment and regret about a poor or hurtful decision or action. So whether the sin was yours or whether it was someone else's, sin always leads to shame. When we do something wrong or hurtful, or when something has been done to us that is wrong or hurtful, it creates a sense of shame, embarrassment and regret about a poor or hurtful decision or action. You can connect then what happened, you tend to connect that thing, that sin, with who you are and your personhood. So I did something bad, therefore I must kind of be bad. Or someone I love did something bad or wrong and I'm ashamed of their action. Sometimes we even irrationally say, someone did something wrong to me and it must partially be my fault. Therefore, I am bad in some way that caused that action to me. Whatever the circumstances are, sin always leads to shame, and then shame always then at least tends to produce, it wants to produce a secret. And sin and shame create an anxiety that inside of us we realize that if this gets known, if this gets out, if people know about this, it might hurt our relationship. It might hurt the way you look at me or think about me. It might hurt me. We don't want it to be known. So we bury it. We hide it. We keep the sin, the information, whatever happened we keep it from getting out. And we call that, by definition, that's a secret. I know something you don't know. And this process is illustrated with our great-grandparents, Adam and Eve. They sinned by doing the exact opposite of what God told them to do, which, in case you don't know, is the definition of sin. And their sin felt good in the moment because that's what sin does. It feels good or we wouldn't be tempted to do it. But afterwards, the good feeling is gone and it's replaced by shame, embarrassment and regret about a poor or hurtful decision or action. And that shame then leads to hiding. Adam and Eve covered themselves and they hid from God. They didn't want the truth to come out, so they created a secret. And you and I, we do this too. We convince ourselves, quite naturally, that the only way to be safe is to hide, to mask, to play the game. I'm all good. It's fine. No big deal. But here's the most important part. Sin created the anxiety, but the secret is the wrapper that seals the anxiety. It binds the anxiety. In other words, by deciding to keep the secret about the thing, whatever the thing is, we put a lid on the bucket that's holding the anxiety and it cannot escape. It has no outlet. And so we have a phrase we use a lot around here in my circle, and I want you to know it because it's important for you to have it too. It goes like this: secrets bind anxiety. I want you to say this out loud with me. Here we go. Secrets bind anxiety. The real power of the secret is not in the content of the secret, however bad you think it is. It's in the fact that we have a secret. So sin then necessarily leads to a sense of shame, and that shame wants to create a secret, and if we do a secret, it will lead then to separation. And once you have a secret, you live a separate life. You have to keep your secret. You create distance. I know something you don't know, and I have to keep it from you. But if you knew that I know something that you don't know, you would want to know. And the fact that you know that you don't know is what makes me make sure that you can never know. Are you confused? Are you twisted up? That's what secrets do. A secret turns inside of us until we are a contorted mess, constantly looking over our shoulder to make sure that the secret stays contained at all costs. And the collateral damage of all this energy spent keeping the secret is the separation that comes from pretending and from lying and from keeping the truth from coming out. I have to carefully select my words so that you don't figure this out. I have to cover my tracks. I have to watch what I say. I have to remember the story. I have to clean up the evidence. I have to take care of the witnesses. I have to cover it all up. I can't be exposed. I can't be intimate. I can't be genuine and authentic, not completely anyway. I can't be naked and feel no shame. No, the secret, it came out of a sense of shame for the sin that I'm now separated, I'm covered up, I'm hiding. That's what secrets do. They cause us to hide. We hide the fullness of who we are so that you don't find out the fullness of what we're covering up. And so the whole relationship is in a bind because there's distance between this person or group and this person or group. Secrets bind anxiety in family systems. They bind anxiety in relationships. They especially bind anxiety in marriages. The power of the secret is never in the content of the secret, however bad you think it is, but in the fact that we have one. The reality that there is a secret is more hurtful than the secret itself, because secrets compound sin. Secrets don't ever allow for the sin to be addressed. They don't allow for the sin to be dealt with. Secrets delay the consequence of the sin. Secrets don't allow for the beauty of things like forgiveness and grace and reconciliation. And I'm going to give you the solution for this in a minute. Really, it's coming. Hang in there. But I want to make sure that we're together in this. I know that I'm working hard to convince you because I've met so many people about this that are not convinced. Listen to me. The most destructive thing I have seen in working with people, especially married people, for over 20 years, the most destructive thing I've seen is the secret. Sometimes the secret comes because a spouse knows about a husband or wife's secret sin. It's not a secret between them, but they cover it up together so that nobody else knows about it. She covers for him, so they have a secret that is born of his sin. And by the way, this can go in either direction. And the root of the issue then is never actually addressed. The secret prevents others who can help from actually helping. And I've seen this strategy worked a lot, and I have never seen it actually help. I've never seen it work. In fact, this joint cover up together, it actually usually makes it worse as one spouse keeps doing this hurtful thing and the other spouse keeps covering it up, one under-functioning, the other over-functioning, until they eventually resent each other, and the original destructive behavior, it just gets worse than ever. So what's the solution? I mean, really, what's the solution? It's simple, super simple, and really hard. But here it is. You have to blow up the secret. I mean, really, you have to blow up the secret. You have to get the secret out. You have to remove the secret's oxygen by giving oxygen to the truth. When God walked through the garden, he knew that Adam and Eve were hiding. He could have kept walking, but he confronted them. And while there were consequences to their sin, the hiding was then over once it was revealed and the secret was released. The way you release the anxiety around the secret is to reveal the secret. Just get it out. Because secrets bind anxiety, but the truth releases it. Revealing of truth equals the release and the freedom that can come when all that anxiety finally gets uncontained. The constraining of truth, that is the creation of a secret, is the opposite of freedom, because secrets bind anxiety. And you don't have to be the victim anymore of a secret that you created. You have the power to blow up your secret. And can I just tell you this? Can I just really get real with you? The secret always comes out anyway. It always comes out anyway. Secret keeping is a losing proposition, partly because the secret, having a secret, creating a secret, maintaining a secret, it destroys relationships, but also because it's really a lie that you tell yourself. The secret is always only temporary because the truth always comes out. Jesus said it like this. He said, whoever lives by the truth comes into the light. He also said, there is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, nothing hidden that will not be made known. So if this is where you are, here's what you do. First, you make deliberate time. You have something important to say, so make dedicated, uninterrupted time so you can say it. Second, offer a preface, something like, I love you no matter what. Third, say something like, I have a confession, or I've got something I need to tell you, or there's something you need to know. And then say it. Tell them the truth, even if it hurts, and tell them all of it. Don't hold a piece of it back, because you'll just keep a morsel of a secret that will just do more damage in the future. If you're going to dump the truck, dump the truck. And one final note. You don't control the other person's response, but you absolutely can control yours. Today, you have a choice. You can decide right now that you're going to blow up the secret. You can change course today, and you can put mechanisms in your life that will ensure that you never create a secret again. And I'm going to tell you how to do that in a follow-up video that I created for you today. You can find that on our website. You do not want to miss it. It's important information that will carry on more that I was able to talk to you about today. It will give you information you need. So I want to pray for you, and then we're going to share in a powerful moment because Elijah and Megan Shirelli, a powerhouse couple on our team, they're going to lead us to reflect on the idea of getting the secret out. And they also have a potent story of the damage a secret does and the healing that can come when a secret is released. So stick around as we finish today. But look, I know this is a big deal. I know this is serious. And I know some of you are afraid. So let me pray for you right now. Let's pray together. God, you're the author of truth. You're the one who said there's nothing now hidden that will not be revealed. And some of our friends here today, they're carrying the anxiety of a secret. Friendships and marriages and families. I pray, Lord, that you would give them the courage to blow up the secret. And I pray, Lord, that you would give their families and their relationships a sense of love and grace, of forgiveness and reconciliation. That whatever journey they're about to go on, you would show up in a powerful way for them. Thank you for being the author of truth, for the anxiety that's about to be released, for the freedom that will come. And we're grateful for it. In the name of Jesus, amen.
We're in the deep. Here talk is cheap. We chose family forever. Tell me tell me the truth, even if it hurts me, even if it's ugly. My heart is open. Tell me the truth without the self-protection. Love can mend what's broken in me and you. So tell me the truth, even if it hurts me, even if it's ugly. My heart is open. So tell me the truth without the self-protection. Love can mend what's broken in me and you. Me and you. Me and you. Brick by brick, we'll take the walls down, even if it takes a lifetime. Brick by brick, we'll take the walls down, even if it takes a lifetime. Brick by brick, we'll take the walls down, even if it takes a lifetime. Brick by brick, we'll take the walls down, even if it takes a lifetime. Tell me the truth. Brick by brick, we'll take the walls down, even if it takes a lifetime. Tell me the truth. Brick by brick, we'll take the walls down, even if it takes a lifetime.
Thank you so much for being with us today in our Relationship Goals series. We really encourage you to get in a small group for support for yourself or for your marriage. You can do that on our website. On our website, you can also request to meet with a pastor. We are here for you. We would love to help you as you pursue your relationship goals. We can suggest counselors if that would be helpful to you as well. So have a great week, and we'll see you back here next week as we continue our Relationship Goals series.